Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be presented the collective bargaining agreement for Group 2 by Brandy Watson, Leonardo Velasquez, Jessica Hall, and Perla Fuentes. Or collective bargaining agreement, it's from Hanson Ready Mix and International Union of Operating Engineers. This includes operating engineers, helpers, mechanics, front-end operators, and maintenance men. It was completed on August 1st, 2019, to be effective until July 31st, 2022. This collective bargaining agreement was still effective after July 31st, 2022 on a yearly basis. It can be canceled if a 60-day notice was given prior to July 31st. The purpose of this collective bargaining agreement was to fix hours, wages, and the need of engineer helpers. In addition to that, one of the main purposes is also minimizing the possibility of strikes and lockouts. The three main classification topics of bargaining agreements are mandatory, permissive, and illegal. And we're going to start with mandatory. Membership is our first subject, and all employees covered by the agreement can be members of the union. Employees should become members after 60 days of good standing employment. Employees must pay their dues and fully payment if they would like to become members. Union security and non-discrimination. So as part of the union and non-discrimination, Hanson Ready Mix cannot discourage employees to join. They cannot discriminate in hiring process, refuse to grant tenure, or interfere in any way. As part of the union security, members will obey to all the rules, regulations from the employer, and no liability on either party without the opportunity for correction and adjustment should apply. And one of the most important subjects will be the no strike. So no strike of any kind should be held at Hanson Ready Mix. Interference with production, sales, delivery, transportation, or customer service can lead to termination, and the company will not lock out the bargaining unit. In this section, the collective bargaining agreement outlines wages, and they increase 3% each year as long as the CBA was active. As per front-end loaders, an example is that they were at 24.43, and the following year, with the increasement of 3%, they went all the way to 25.91, and then the following year, with another 3%, they were all the way out to $26.69. The special payment subject, employees who work on Sundays or holidays will receive double their rate and overtime. Employees who work between 12 a.m. and 5 p.m. should be paid an additional 50 cents per hour. Workers also receive $7 for super money, and they work over 10 hours if they work over 10 hours in a day. Employees who work over 8 hours should get paid time and a half. Anyone called to work after their normal hours, weekends, they'll get paid a minimum of 4 hours of overtime pay. This is very similar to being on call. All employees will receive 7 paid holidays. If new equipment is used, they can always create a new job. Mechanics also receive a $375 to allowance. And employees transferred to a job other than their normal classification will receive their current rate unless the job pays higher. Seniority. Seniority should vary while considering promotions, layoffs, or demotions. When an employee transfers from different plants, their seniority starts over. Employees who were laid off can be contacted to come back to work, and jobs are always offered back based on seniority. The leave of absence, bereavement subject. So each employee has a maximum of 12 months for leave of absence. Employees accrue 40 hours of vacation time with an additional 8 hours every year after. Hanson Ready Mix will pay 3 days, 8-hour consecutive for bereavement. Employees get also an additional 2 paid days of leave for death of a child or a spouse. In the safety subject, any employee who is hurt on the job will receive full pay and benefits if they're unable to work. All safety equipment will be supplied to employees at no cost. Every employee will receive a yearly safety boot allowance of $200. And lastly, members will need to comply with company's substance abuse prevention policy as part of the safety subjects. Management rights. Management has the right to reprimand, suspend, discharge, hire, etc. They can determine best practices to maintain efficiency. They're in charge of how operations should be conducted. Management has the right to regulate practices and equipment. They can introduce new methods of operation and amend or revise policies. They can also determine personal methods, means, and facilities by which operations are to be conducted. They can expand, reduce, alter, combine any job, department, operations, or service. They can introduce new or improve methods, machinery, and equipment. They manage and fulfill the mission of the employer and to direct the employer's employees. And the next one is grievance and arbitration. Grievance process starts with a complaint containing all known facts, and then it needs to be filed to the store. The store must submit the grievance to the superintendent within 5 days of the occurrence. Superintendent has five days to get back to the store and work on a settlement. The settlement it starts with the grievance appealing to the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Services within 10 days. A decision of the arbitrator is final and must be in writing. The cost of arbitration will be split in the union and Hanson Ready Mix. And then we have health insurance and pension fund. New employees will be eligible for health insurance coverage after 60 days of employment. Employees can continue health insurance for up to 3 months if not working. Hanson Ready Mix will contribute $2.80 per hour to employees in their pension fund. They will contribute 25 cents per hour to employees' annuity account. Payment for annuity and pension fund should be check or other written order. The employer should indicate on employee's pay statement the number of hours for which contribution have been made. Contribution should be made on actual hours paid for. Any employer who pays into the union welfare plan is covered under union weekly disability benefits. And then permissive, any items that do not relate to wages, hours, and working conditions are considered permissive. They relate to the nature of the business rather than the employees. Some examples are negotiation grant rules, pension for retired employees, and the company's board directors or trustees. There are not permissive subjects in this collective bargaining agreement. And lastly, we have illegal subjects. Illegal topics are ones that violate the law. These topics are prohibited in a collective bargaining agreement. Examples include discrimination, hot cargo, and closed shops. If included, they are unenforceable. So there are no illegal subjects in this collective bargaining agreement. Our source was dol.gov. Thank you everyone for watching.